I say, hello, and welcome to my debut on YouTube. I know I've posted some videos on YouTube before, but this is the first serious video that I post that is intended to be in a series that tells you more about my law firm and the work that I do. Now, those of you that already know me from Instagram and Facebook, you would know that this is actually a regular thing with me. My marketing manager usually discusses topics for reels and videos with me, and I get social media assignments every month and so forth. For those of you who do not yet know me, until my Facebook account recently got disabled, I was quite active on Facebook, and I was actually quite active on Instagram as well. I think you may still find the page for Martinez Boshoff Attorney that is still being run for me there on Facebook. But yes, I'm not sure whether I'm on Instagram anymore, and my own personal account is gone, and I do not have access to the page anymore. But nonetheless, videos like these I'm going to make for YouTube. So yeah, I hope you enjoy watching these videos. I try to keep them as entertaining as possible because I don't just want to advertise. I actually like telling people what I do. Now, usually how this goes is usually need a brainstorming session to sit down and think about topics that would be engaging or topics that would grab people's attention for me to talk about in like a 30-second reel or something. And I know this video is going to be quite long, but recently I suddenly had such uh, recently I've received such good material that I just could not pass up. And even though this video doesn't form part of my social media schedule for this month, I decided nonetheless that no, I simply have to make this video and post it. You see, most of the time you would not hear me talking about any of the cases that I'm handling. That is because mainly I have to keep my clients' affairs private. And a lot of these videos would, if I would make them, would contain really sensitive information that one would not want to publish. But then this happened. So, since the soon to be defendant in what is going to be a lawsuit for defamation of character has decided to post about me on public, I've decided to, well, also say my piece since this matter is already out in the open. Now, this has started with me taking on a community service matter. Now, you might not know this, but yes, the Legal Practice Council expects of us to render at least 40 hours worth of community service every year. Now, for most attorneys, this means that, okay, so they have to do pro bono work. And yes, there's, I think, if you ever stick your neck out for pro bono work, you will not have a shortage of it. But I've decided a long time ago that no, 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 I am not going to stick my neck out for an old lady who wants a free will that she phones me in the dead of night to change like 100 times. Sorry, I've already done that during my days as a PA at law firms where I was expendable enough to get such tasks dumped on. I do not need that again. And yes, those who know me also know that I've served 2 years of articles at Legal Aid, where I've done countless criminal as well as civil matters without charging fees for same, since I was paid by the state to do that. So, what kind of matter do I deem worthy of my 40 hours of community service? Well, This matter is one such example. The plaintiff in this matter is a police officer, and not just any police officer. I think most of us would reckon that there is some animosity between attorneys and police officers. After all, most of our clients are people, or I won't say most of our clients, but in most of it, with most of our interactions with the police, I'd rather say, come from our clients being arrested or our clients finding themselves on the wrong side of these police officers, and then we often find ourselves in conflict with these police officers. But believe it or not, I actually have a lot of respect for the work that these police officers do, and especially here in our town of Mbombela. This particular police officer has actually made a name for himself of being an exceptional police officer who is dedicated to doing his work. Where other police officers would not attend to scenes due to not having cars and such, well, this particular officer actually goes out on patrol. And he has attended quite a number of crime scenes, and he has apprehended quite a number of suspects up to now. And he has shown dedication and love for his work that really inspired me. So when this police officer approached me with this particular problem that he had with the individual with whom you are soon going to be familiar, I have decided that he is not going to pay me for my services. Now, let's start with how this dispute started. So, picture this. It's Sunday, the 27th of April. I think many of us will remember that as the public holiday out of which we got cheated, because the 27th of April fell on a Sunday, and many of us ended up going back to work on Monday the 28th anyway. But nonetheless, it was a Sunday. So for many of us, tired from the week's work and such, we probably had a big Sunday lunch, took a nice long Sunday afternoon nap on our beds and such. Well, for Mr. and Mrs. Baileyveld, this Sunday was not going to involve any of that. They rather decided to spend their Sunday afternoon like this. Now, with all this happening in a residential area, no less in one of those complexes that has a homeowners association, no less, how would you expect the neighbors to react?
Hijo, bel polisie!
Ja, Tannie. Mens bel beslis die polisie. Maar kom ons onthou hierso, dit is Nelspruit hierdie. Hier bel ons nie die polisie nie, hier bel ons vir Hi-Tech. And yes, Hi-Tech was indeed phoned. So when Hi-Tech showed up, they politely knocked on the door. Mr. Baileyveld opened, said, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. Can I help you?" And then a member of Hi-Tech said, "Yes, sir. Hope you are well. We've received complaints that somebody in your house is screaming like a stuck pig. Do you perhaps have a problem here?" And then Mr. Baileyfeld said, "No, sir, there's no problem here. My wife and I just had a difference of opinion, but we've calmed down." And his wife came out like, "Yes, sir, we do not have any problems here. Everything is fine, thank you." And everybody went their merry way. But no, just kidding. That's not how Mr. Baileyfeld reacted to Hi-Tech showing up. This was how he actually reacted.
Ek wil weet wie die fok het julle hier gebel voordat my vuurwapen hier uithaal en begin fucking skiet. Then there's a reason for you to do that.
Now, for the viewers that would actually understand the GTA reference, Mr. Baileyfeld's star level went up. So next, the police arrived. And this is what Mr. Baileyfeld had to say to them.
Who pulled power to call you here? Huh, meneer? Ja, jy weet ek praat met jou. Sorry. That's why you trying to ignore me. That's why you ignoring me full out. Because someone called you. Either Reinu, Skalk, Willem, or Anne called you. And you suck his cock, and that's why you out here. Because he's your boyfriend. Freedom of speech, I'm allowed to say whatever I like.
So let me get this. You have freedom of speech, and as a result, you may insult anyone and defame anybody's character. Well, now that I think of it, yes, you actually may, if you have the money to pay for it. Because yes, doing this, it is actually a criminal offense, but in my experience, yes, our criminal courts do not really want to prosecute these things. So these things usually devolve into civil actions, and which lead to claims for damages. And reasons why lawyers are usually reluctant to take on these cases is because they don't have any evidence. But hey, here I sit with the evidence in my hands, the defamatory remark that was made. And not just this video, but on Mr. Baileyfeld's X account, he had actually posted defamatory remarks about the police officer and about his spouse. And the only thing the spouse really did, even though, yes, I know she gets accused of stalking them and doxing them, but let's bear in mind that before this incident, these people had nothing to do with one another. The only thing that the police officer's wife actually did was she published that video that explained the reason why Hi-Tech and the police were called to the scene. And that infuriated them so much that they responded to that post with a series of defamatory posts accusing them of all manner of things. Now, the details of these posts, well, I know Mr. and Mrs. Baileyfeld are not shy. They are very liberal about what they say on social media, so you can go check those posts out yourself. It is there, it is wide, it is open. They want to tell everybody that wants to hear that they are the actual victims in this story. But say about this video what you want. But you've seen the video clips now, and I've played them for you in order. Now, I've also told you the story that goes with each one of these video clips. So if anybody wants to attack the truthfulness of what I say here, or wishes to say that, no, I'm misunderstanding the situation, well, take these videos and then scramble them in a different order and give me an explanation that actually makes sense. Because the evidence that we have right now actually clearly shows that Mr. Baileyfeld chose to attack, he first chose to respond to security officers that were just doing their jobs with threats of violence. Actually, well, if one starts talking about firearms, we can actually say that he made death threats towards security officials. And then, with regard to the policeman, well, there is absolutely no reason here, or let's just say it was never necessary to even insult the police officer. It was Mr. Baileyveld's own conduct that had led to the police arriving at their front seat, on his front lawn. So, had it been that these policemen chose out of their own volition to be there, or that they were there without reason, one would probably understand why they got insulted. But let's bear in mind that, well, anybody would have called the police if they heard a racket like that. And that is why this next week is going to start with me drafting a summons and drafting a notice of motion for an interdict. Well, it's not like I spring civil actions on people without warning. You can be assured that Mr. and Mrs. Baileyveld were warned of the consequences of their actions. This instruction came to me on about the 11th of June. And a letter of demand was sent to them, allowing them until the 13th of June to delete those posts on social media that I now invite you to go and see. And yes, I can already safely assume that they are not going to delete those posts. They are actually going to answer my letters with even more outrageous and defamatory posts. Now, such hard-headedness can warrant only one type of response. So, yes, I have work to do next week. But, yes, do follow this channel. I'll keep you posted on developments.